Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Maybe I've been feeling like this for a while, or maybe it just kind of hit me today. But what is the point of Sam's character? I felt like she came in there and she did very little to nearly nothing. And I get that sometimes you have characters that got to be supporting roles and stuff like that. But like in this episode, it was like, why are you here? I get it. They're trying to give her own story, which is very questionable at best, but she comes first of all, she comes to she comes to Alexis' place and Harmony answers the door and she's like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, whoa, listen, I get that not everyone, is a big fan of Harmony, but damn girl, do you not have any manners or any filters whatsoever? Who comes to the door? Who walks up to somebody and be like, "What are you doing here?" Nice to see you too. Good morning to you too, sweetheart. Like, I don't know. That sort of attitude just kind of like, mm, mm. So after that bit of rudeness, Harmony makes herself scarce. Now earlier, Alexis did kind of look at Harmony when she was trying to be all nice and making coffee and stuff like that, and she was like, "How did you know about like the cleaning supplies? Like, what's going on?" Um, Sam comes in there. Sam's like, "Are you sure that this is a good idea for her to be here?" And just like, and she talks about how grifters are, and she may still have some of those same tendencies. So just be careful. So Harmony comes back. Sam continues to act like the rudeness that I am so trying not to curse, but the rude thing that she was when she first opened the door and walked off, and hmm, hmm, hmm. She didn't put me in a bad mood, but she pissed me off, though. I guess she did put me in a bad mood a little bit. So she leaves, and Alexis is like, "All right, so how did you know about the cleaning supplies? Like, that stuff what you said didn't add up." And that's when Harmony was like, "Yeah, well, I knew about it because I've been here before. Back in the days when she was, working for Shiloh, she said that she talked to Christina and, let herself in and, I guess checked around the place. And, Alexa's like, all right, listen, I gotta go to work. I'm gonna confirm that with Christina at some point throughout the day." And, Harmony's like, "Is everything all right?" And Alexa's like, we'll talk later on. So she leaves. And it turns out that Harmony was the one, that killed Neil, that was behind Neil's death. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know the circumstances behind why they decided to kill off Neil the way that they did. Or just the fact that they killed them off in general. And, I said maybe in a couple of videos before that, sometimes being a fan and not really knowing the behind the scenes drama, you can be a little naive to it and you can kind of just be like, la, 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 la. But sometimes it does kind of help. Sometimes it just kind of helped know why a person left. Like maybe they just decided it wasn't a good idea, or maybe it was just some sort of, backstage drama, or the actor or actress decided to leave, like with Nathan's case. Like with Nathan's case. He decided he wanted to leave because he wanted to do um, Hallmark movies and stuff like that. And when I found that out, it just made me not care so much about him, his death and everything like that. And every time people go, "Oh, Nathan's death," it was like, I just roll my eyes. It was like, I don't care. I don't care. The dude chose to leave. I don't care. Um, but regardless, for just table that for a minute about why he chose, either he chose to leave or he chose to, kill him off, whatever. It turned out that Harmony was behind his death. And I'm gonna be honest, It's interesting. I definitely want to know why she did what she did. It is definitely giving me vibes of Taste Addiction. Or yeah, I think that's what it's called. I think that's what the name of that movie was called. Of course, she had a different reason why she killed someone else off, but regardless, I'm interested to sit there and find out why. Um, and I think it's going to be pretty interesting as far as the storyline goes. Down the line, as long as they don't drag it out. I say as long as they don't drag it out, but this is G8, so it's up in the air as far as how long they're going to sit there and stretch out that story. But it should be interesting either way. Oh, and a side note, because it's very mixed reactions. Nancy, who plays Alexis, is going to be out for a little bit on medical leave. I don't know what's going on with her, but she's going to be out for a little bit, and they're going to have somebody, temporarily replacing her. And I've seen mixed reactions. I've seen people be upset. I've seen people give hearts, like, they're just so glad because Nancy is very controversial to sit there and say the least. So it's mixed reaction, kind of a mixed bowl. But yeah, if you see somebody else being Alexis for a little bit, there's a reason for it. So Jordan is sitting there talking to Trina, telling her about the next steps, this was going to wind up happening. And I'm just sitting there thinking, at some point, you should probably get a lawyer before you start talking to her. Like, okay, whatever. You might have been somewhat naive about it, even though I don't know why. Your dad was a cop. You would probably know not to really say anything to someone of, like law enforcement without actually having any sort of representation, things like that. But okay, whatever. I think it's stupid, but I also think it's kind of what I always sit there and say, plot over common sense and logic. But with that being said, I'm like, Trina, why are you sitting there still talking to her, sitting there saying you didn't do it, and she's asking you questions, it's like, uh, uh, uh. So when Ava came in, I was like, I mean, she's not a lawyer, but damn, she's somebody. This is after she found out from Sonny that, Trina got arrested. And so, let me just sidebar to Sonny for a minute. So, Sonny wants to sit there and help. Sonny wants to sit there and help, and Carly's like, no, she's good. Jocelyn doesn't really want to talk to you, don't really want to message you right now. So, we got this whole thing under control. We're good. But Sonny, being Sonny, decides, well, he wants to do what he wants to do anyway. And you see later on that he's the one that actually wound up grabbing Esme. Esme was outside after playing Nicholas like a fiddle. And, she's smiling ear to ear, looking at her phone, just like she was before Nicholas got there. As far as Trina being arrested by the invader, just reading that whole story. So she's all happy about it. While she's outside, they pan close and, she has that look on her face. And, you see later on, you see Esme in Sonny's office. And I'm just like, Sonny, do you not understand that you're just going to make this worse? Like, she had the balls to sit there and do all of that, frame Trina, mess with Jocelyn, just the whole 9 yards. You really think that she's afraid of you? Like, seriously. Oh, I mean, on top of that, it's not like she doesn't know who she's dealing with. She knows that Sonny, there's certain things that he doesn't do. One of them is drugs, and the other one is anything as far as, doing something to women, like, hurting women. Well, of course, he had been in that law when he went out to Claudia Zakara, when he found out that she was the one that was behind Michael's shooting. But normally, besides that is concerned, he doesn't really sit there and touch women. So I'm looking at this whole situation. I'm like, bro, you're just gonna make her situation a lot worse. You're gonna make the situation a lot worse. On top of the fact that, Esme did sit there and say like, oh well, Sonny, was off my face and this, that, and the third, and Nicholas like, oh, I'll handle Sonny, just like he did last time, right? When he showed up in there with his goons, like you really had that situation under control, right? Yeah. Okay. Good luck with that. Um, but yes, that is one plan that I am looking forward to it backfiring because I'm like, Sonny, you got your own stuff you got to sit there and deal with, and you honestly gonna sit there and do something that Carly told you not. What am I listening to this in? Of course he doesn't listen to Carly. He hasn't been listening to Carly from day one. So why should I expect anything different now? Now, Spencer was sitting there talking to Laura, and he was talking about the muffins or whatever, and it was so good. And he was like, "Oh, it's been a while since like I used to think about it, for so long, when I was on the inside." And Laura laughed. Laura was like, "Yo, you were there for 30 days." I, let's not get it. The whole point is to try to like joke about the fact that he's all privileged and everything like that. But I also kind of look at it like people went to jail a lot longer for less. And to have him sit there and casually talk about, oh, I missed this, when I was on the inside. Bro, you're at a country club for 30 days. This is the reason why I'm finding it so, I struggle so much to sit there and try to take his character seriously when he says things like that. Anyway, Victor comes in, and long story short, Victor finds out that Esme might be pregnant, and already he's like, oh, that's it? Oh, well, we cast on, we got options for that. We can sit there and have them shipped off. We can have, um, people sit there and take care of the child because the mother is unfit. We got options. Okay. The point is, whatever's going on with Esme is not going to tie you down. And Victor was like, oh, thank you. I'm like, so much for manning up and taking responsibility, but I mean, hey, you got a rich uncle and a rich family, so why do we got to do stuff like that? Like normies. Yay. I get it. It's a fantasy, so it's whatever. I'm just realizing that I'm looking at my notes. I'm looking at my book, and I'm like, Gwen, Xander, oh Leo. This doesn't seem right. Oh yeah, of course not. It's the wrong notes. So hope I didn't miss anything so far. I'm curious though. I wonder if they actually changed the time or did he be consistent with the time? Because Harmony thought back to August 2020 when she killed Neil. I'm assuming that that's right. I'm not 100% sure. There was so much going on during that time that it could have happened, and I just don't remember. But I guess that makes sense. I'm not too sure. Carly and Sam talk, which once again almost felt like Sam was somewhat useless. I mean, again, I guess she's a supporting character, but it's like they could have just had anybody come in and fill that role. Um, anyway, all they sit there and do is they talk about Jason and Monica declaring him dead and having closure for the kids. And I'm like, how is that going to have closure for the kids? You think just because a bunch of official people sit there and say that your dad is dead, that you're just gonna automatically believe them? Whatever. They talk about that. They talk about Esme, and I think that's about it. Oh, I think we may be seeing Stephen A. Smith sometime this week, hopefully, because Sonny was on the phone with Brick talking about coordinating with Spinelli as far as trying to get proof, of who really, made that whole sex tape. Um, as far as like it could be Esme, but I sit there and I look at it. I was like, well, if anyone could sit there and crack the case between Spinelli and Brick, it's going to be one of those two. I mean, you got the best in the business, so whatever happened to that big player? Are we still doing that? Or they just kind of abandoned that storyline, or they just thought that people got amnesia and just totally forgot about that? I mean, that was kind of a big thing, and now it's just, what big player? What new guy that's coming in, or new woman that's coming in? I don't know what. I feel like I'm missing something. Just can't quite put my finger on it. Anyway, if I did, let me know in the comment section. I think that's actually gonna do it. I want to thank you all for watching. Be safe. Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are, and I feel like I'm just messing up my outro. Thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.